Good afternoon and welcome back. So this afternoon we're going to be talking about the Lay's amplifier projects. They're finally both done, at least my part is. Then we're going to go over the last chance for the color pick on the tribute projects. So we got Pops here with us, so he's going to come over here and talk to us, give his opinion too on your guys' suggestion of the colors. But let's go ahead and look at this one first. So this is the other raw cab, and this is the material that I gave up on the first time I tried when I was doing this one. This is the material that I was starting to use on this cabinet. When I used the wood glue, what was happening with all these compound curves and stuff, when you tried to pull it and stretch it to get it around the corners to staple it and whatnot, it would lift and it would pull and shift and bubble. Not to mention my $200 and some staple gun, it's an air gun, was loading up with wood glue, and I didn't want that. So I ended up wiping it all off of that cabinet, and then I tried using the glue that I used to glue this material on, which you put in a air gun, a spray gun, and what it did is it immediately saturated through the material and got really goobery and sticky. So I gave up, and then I got to thinking, well, there's got to be a different kind of glue I can use to make this work out. And I don't know how well it's going to work out or not. It's on right now, but we'll see in the future. So I'm not going to charge him that much for this one because I'm uncertain how this is going to actually turn out because of the glue that I did use on it. But it was a glue that didn't saturate through and get all sticky. So hopefully this will work out. But this is the material that Steve had picked out down there at Lay's, and it is the black with the gray paisley, like flowery pattern. Not quite a paisley. I mean, they usually call these weird patterns paisley, but a paisley is actually a weird shape. So there is none of those shapes in here. But I think it came out really good. Looks really nice. Like I said, like on the last one, covered all the blocking and everything, all the way around everything. And it's very time consuming to try to get all that stuff to lay. And then with the wood glue, you know, it don't stay stuck down in this corner to come up and around and all the way back around that block again, because it's not like a contact glue, so it don't stay stuck. So I know they use the wood glue to put this material on the guitars, when they do the cloth covered guitars, but they're just covering the top of it, and it dries, and they take a router and they go around the edge to trim off the edge of the material. So it's a whole different animal. The wood glue might work on some of the other Fender cabinets where they lay flat and it's just 4 flat pieces that you wrap around and overlap. But with this one, with all the different holes and compound radiuses, it's pretty hard to do that. So we skipped out on that. But they wanted the wood glue on this, so when it dried hard and they could lacquer it. Now, I don't know if they can lacquer this with the glue that I have on there, if it's going to react or not, but maybe if they start spraying light coats, you know, and just ease their way into it, maybe. I don't know. This is an experiment. So like I said, I'm not going to charge them that much for this one because I'm very uncertain of how this glue is going to work out. And if it don't work out, I'll have to redo it for them. Who knows? We'll see how this works out. But as of right now, it's been on here for a few days, and there's a couple things that I changed on how I did this one. Like this one here, I had to sew all this right here. But with this material being so thin, it bunches up in my commercial machine. I'll have to show you guys that someday, but what I used on this was a seam sealer, like for when you're doing boat canvases and stuff like that. So all the seams are done with a seam sealer, and that's the best I could do to get them to lay nice and flat and straight. So hopefully that works out well too, and it doesn't come loose. But again, with this material being so thin, it is literally paper thin, and it was really hard to get any kind of glue or anything to apply it and not bleed through the material. So hopefully that works out. And I do have original OEM fender grill cloth in this as well as that one. But yeah, so there it is so far. That is the gray and black one. And again, I did lacquer the speaker baffle in there black, and I didn't know what they wanted on the inside. So if they want, they can brush the inside of it black. But I did do the speaker baffle, because once it's in there, and you take all these screws out and try taking it out, you're going to start screwing up the cloth and everything when it's, you know, because it's all wrapped around in there. But it's all stainless steel stapled around the edges, so it shouldn't come off that way. But I'm just thinking overall, the rest of the surfaces, I don't know how long that glue is going to hold. I used a similar glue to this one on the other two that I got over there, and I did those, what, almost a year ago now?
About a year ago.
Yeah, and they're holding out just fine. So I took my shot with it, and hopefully this will stay. But the other thing I don't like about these cabinets, and reason I don't want to continue to cover these cabinets anymore, is because right here in these corners, I have to cut a strip of this material, and I have to glue it in the corner, and then split it, lay it down, and trim it with a razor blade so it has a nice edge. And then I wrap that, because this material, you can't see it, but it's split about halfway up into this corner because it's so deep. So that's the other thing I'm worried about, is that going to stay there and hold for a long period of time? It seems to be doing very well right now, but in the long run, what's it going to do? And the same with like these holes here. Once you get the material glued on, the first thing I do is I push it down in as far as I can, and then I try to stretch it out. And with the wood glue, that wasn't working because it was just moving all over the place. And then the wood glue, you know, it just doesn't have that contact to it. But when you split it, you pretty much split it almost all the way up to the wood, because it won't stretch and fold around. So you have like no material wrapped around in the very corners of this. And I did staple it, but there's no telling if that's going to lift over time or if it's going to start to tear. I don't know, but they look good covered. I just don't know how well these will work out in the long run. This one definitely, I don't ever see this material coming off of this amplifier here, because I use the same glue that you would use to glue a vinyl top on a like 70s hot rod, like a Chevelle or something like that. They have those fake vinyl tops on the roof. That's the glue that I use to glue this material on, and once that's on, it's not coming off. And that's what I was hoping to be able to use on this, and it bled right through, and it's just like snot, and it stays sticky and rubbery. So I don't know. We'll see how these work out for him. Maybe somewhere down the road, if he really wants some more done, I'll do them. But we'll see how these ones work out first. And let me show you one that... These are the type of cabinets here that are really easy to do, because there's no compound curves or nothing. So you cover the side of it, and you bring it around and around the top, and you get all the corners stretched, glued, stapled, and then this top and bottom piece, you fold the edge over, sew it down, and then you can tape all this off, do your glue, and then these just lay nice and flat and they wrap around. So I really like doing this style of cabinet. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, this is 4, plus I sold a couple already. The XD Champ and the Princeton Chorus 2x10 had the same kind of cabinets too, and they worked out really well. It does a good job covering these. So, and then like in here, this one has the back plates and the block, so it hides the edge of the material because it goes all the way around the block. I do like that. So in these ones, I have to make these trim pieces that cover the raw edge. So that's just one little extra step on these ones that you have to do, but I just think these in the long run are going to be a better cabinet to cover and do this kind of stuff versus this one. And that's the reason I didn't recover the one up there at the very top, the base breaker, because it has all these compound radiuses and curves and just a pain in the butt. So like I said, we'll see how these work out, and then over time he can let me know what they did or how they did, and we'll see where we go from there. But as far as these kind of cabinets go, I think this is what I'm going to stick with, is this style of cabinet when it comes to these cloth coverings, just because I know they're not going to come apart. Where on these ones, I can't guarantee that they're not going to come apart. Now this one here in the back, like I said, with this thicker cloth, has a way better chance of surviving a long period of time because of the glue that I used on it and the staples and everything. But on this one here, I'm a little questionable on it. I wouldn't give it to him if I didn't think it was okay, but I'm just not that confident in this one. So it does look really good though. So now we're going to just go ahead and move on. The last video that I did was announcing the last chance to get your opinions and suggestions in for the colors. So this was from the last video and we went over, and then I had my gold top stuff down here. I erased that, and then we put down the suggestions that you guys had put in on the last chance video. So after today though, there's no more suggestions because we are taking the two guitars down to the Loft right here, Lays. We're taking them down on Monday. So the time for color suggestion is over. Pops and I are going to pick one of these colors out, but we're going to go over them one more time, and that is for this 2019 Tribute. So no cracks, no breaks. We're not painting this to hide anything or nothing like that. I just bought a really nice used guitar for a project like this. So again, we're going to just talk about it real quick. It's got the mahogany back, the maple cap and maple neck, and this one does have the dot inlays, which is quite strange because most Tributes have the trapezoid inlays like the gold top. I'm not against that, it looks good, but usually like studios have the dots. You're here, the studio. Yep. So anyhow, on this one we're definitely going to leave the neck raw. Right now it's got a little bit of a darker stain on it, but it will brighten up once they sand all this off, like the Zach Wild 3-piece maple necks, and we're going to put the stinger on it.
You're going to go with a satin neck on that, soft, so it's a fast neck?
Yeah, I'm going to have them do just this part in the satin, but the rest of the video will all be high gloss, the back of the headstock to front of the body. And then we're also going to keep that maple cap showing, so it has that appearance of a binding. Just gives it a little extra, right? So let's go over the colors one more time. So we got the Faded Tobacco Burst, and that was from Dave Sims. Yeah, it is a tobacco burst right now. The last video I kind of asked if he was watching, define what he meant by faded, because
maybe a little lighter on the black. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe the black would end sooner or something. I don't know. And it looks like this has a little bit of a reddish tint in it. So it looks like a 3-color.
Yeah. This really don't have the finish that you really want to be trying to pop out there. It's just
right.
Like a,
yeah, it's just a plain top. There really isn't nothing to write home about,
yeah,
and that's
nothing spectacular.
That's another reason I was going to do a solid color on it, because you're not hiding any, or
you're not trying to show it. You're not trying to display the
there's nothing
in there. There's
nothing to jump out at you on it. So that's why I wanted to go with a solid finish on it. You agree?
I agree.
Yeah. So that's what Dave Sims says is a Faded Tobacco Burst. And then the second suggestion was the stinger on the back and the back plates being the same color. And I'm not sure how that would work. They're spraying this with a lacquer. I don't know how it would stick to the back plates.
I don't think it would.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Maybe if we were doing a poly finish, but even eventually I think that would chip off, don't you?
I don't think I've seen anybody paint a back plates on them.
No, unless they made them out of wood.
It's plastic. There is a, what is it? There's a softener or something like that, a prep thing you can put on plastic or well-adhered paint. It's like what you do for interiors, right?
Usually we use like a promoter. You know, after you clean it and you put
So
a
it'd be like
promoter
doing
on
like
it,
an
yeah.
auto interior, the plastics on auto interior, right?
And again, that's a different kind of paint too. You know, it's, I don't know. But so that's the suggestion there
Your lacquer might melt plastic.
from Surhat. And then suggestion 3 was a blue-gray fade from Ben Massey. So again, not sure what he wanted with the blue-gray, was if it was gray guitar with like blue around the edges or whatever. He never commented on that again, but I've seen all kinds of different configurations of blue and grays, you know.
I wonder if you wanted a gray with a blue on for the fade, or maybe the
Yeah, I'm not sure.
blue with a gray with the fade. I don't know.
But yeah, so Ben Massey had a blue-gray fade suggestion. Suggestion 4, candy apple red, and that's from Nick. Again, we had only a couple red guitars so far. We had a red Strat,
Yeah.
and then we had the kind of more burgundy color 28 scale Les Paul Studio.
A deep candy apple might be pretty.
Yeah, that's candy apple red. That's from Nick. 5, a red or a reverse silver burst. So, and that's from Nicholas Monroe.
So it'd be
Or
black with
Moreno,
silver.
Nicholas Marino. So, yeah, it would be black with silver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be the reverse silver burst. And then let's see. Number 6, aged Palem blue with gold hardware, and that's from FRC. Number 7, hot pink with green burst. That's from Argust. So I think the guitar would be the color in the center here. I think is what he's getting at, would be the hot pink with like a green around it.
Yeah. Hot pink's a little in your face, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty. Hot pink is pretty loud, but if you had another bright green on it, I mean, it might look pretty good. I don't know. Number 8, Royal Electric Blue from Tony Roberts. So I don't. What is electric blue? Is that like a? I'm trying to think.
Royal blue's dark.
Yeah.
But what's electric about it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe
sparkle.
That's what I was asking in the last video. Is it metallic or?
Be a dark blue with sparkle.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because remember we had the Chicago Blue 56.
Yeah.
That was dark. That was like a royal blue.
Yeah. I love Pelham blues. Pelham is one of my favorite colors.
Yeah. So that was Royal Electric Blue number 8. Number 9 is a Blueberry Burst, and that's from Michael Costa. So again, that was really popular the last couple years. I can't think of the name of the little Japanese guy that had one of those Blueberry Burst guitars. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember the guy.
Yeah, Trogley had one of them, but come with a little COA with the little anime character in it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
from Japan. With
Yeah.
special order them.
Yeah, I can't, and I don't think was that Blueberry or was that just blue? I can't remember.
That's been too long.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at them again.
Still, this one doesn't have the wood grain.
Yeah, it don't have the
No flame and no curly maple or nothing.
right. So yeah, I don't know how that would look on there with the plain top with just a couple circles in the figuring there.
Yeah, blueberry would be nice on something that had some wood grain to
quilt
expose.
or
yeah.
flame,
Yeah.
yeah. Because they did a lot of different configurations of the Blueberry Burst. You know, the different colors going all the way down and around the edges. I mean, they actually went all out with that Blueberry Burst for quite a while, a couple years at least. So number 10, Anything Blue, and that is from AFVET 91, and I think that stands for Air Force Vet 91. I never got a comment back on the last video. Tell me if I was right or wrong, but I think that's what that is. But he says Anything Blue, so there's a lot of blue suggestions in here. Number 11, I kind of liked this one. A light pink is what he said in the...
Oh, shell pink.
Yeah, but I think he's thinking a little lighter because he says almost white with a matching stinger.
So it'd be like a beige, almost white kind of thing, except in a pink. Like
Yeah, just like really super light. Like
like a.
it just has just like a tint of pink and a white maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking we should look at some paint chips.
I still think he's thinking shell pink because you got pink and then you got shell
And
pink.
I looked up the shell pink, and it's really, depending on what company, Fender and Gibson, they have different shades and variations of it, but the shell pink is a really good looking, but he says, so
almost white.
Yeah, almost white, the light pink with matching stinger, because this is going to have the maple neck showing, so it would have the really super light pink stinger to match the rest of the body.
So now you're gonna do pink just on the front, or would it be the back too,
Well,
and then do maple neck?
This one, I don't like the combination of the maple next to the mahogany. It looks funny to me, so this one is going to get a full color. The only thing you'll see is the maple cap and the neck. But I'm gonna, yeah, that needs covered. So everything on it would be all the same color except for this part of the neck.
If you're gonna do all the colors, I'd do a black stinger, if anything, just to give it some contrast.
Right. Well, he's saying
Match the stinger with the paint.
And remember, this is the subscribers build.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
well, we're discussing it, right?
Right. Yeah.
These are ideas. That doesn't mean we can't do a little change here, and maybe add a couple other different things in there from other people.
Right.
Doesn't have to. We can maybe pick and choose from the whole group.
Right. Yeah. Mix and match it.
Yeah.
As long as a suggestion comes out of here, I guess I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do anything that they didn't say to do.
Yeah.
You know, because there's no point at that point. You know, it's like, here, you guys are going to do this. Well, I decided to make it this color or that color, you know. But yeah, so he says with the matching stinger and a third pickup with cream plastics. So I was really thinking about that, about putting a third pickup in here, but we're getting ready to pick up the Silver Burst. And there's a pretty long story behind that one. Yeah. And we'll get into that when we bring it back. But it's going to come back unfinished. I'll just let that cat out of the bag. But we did route the third pickup in it. So we will be building a third pickup guitar. And maybe we'll do another subscribers build on that one. Because it wasn't going where we thought it was going.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
And I've already paid for it in full, so we're going to have to work that out. But anyhow, we do have a third pickup build that we're doing. So I might not do the third pickup in these guitars. Because like I said, we have that third pickup build coming. Number 12, Fishman Fluences with the battery pack. Now I like that idea because you have one here. This is the Lay's build.
That is a Fishman Fluence Classics in there, and then they got the hotter ones. I forget what they call them.
I'm not sure because I'm not real familiar with the Fishman, other than I know they're like the EMGs because they're active. Mm-hmm. So since we already have a Fishman Fluence build, I might skip out on the Fishmans and just because when we get the guitars back, we're going to do a whole nother video on what pickups and stuff. Somebody else. Well, we'll get to that down here later, but so we already have a third pickup build coming that we have to finish because I told them not to finish it, and then we have the Fishman Fluence build that was from Lay's already. So those are two things I kind of think I'm gonna steer from. What do you think?
Yeah, because you got tons of pickups to choose from.
Yeah, I do. And so where were we at? Okay, third pickup. All right. The Fishman. Number 13, Fender Delphi Blue from J.J. Dillon. That's another nice color. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of like this light pink one, you know, like the shell pink. It's a really light color. It's soft, kind of like a pastel.
Like a baby blue almost.
Right, yeah. And I think that would look good too. Well, remember I had the Zach Myers Stratocaster. Remember that one? Had the special case and it was the Delphi Blue. That one didn't last long. I got that and it sold right away. So let's see. A light back and sides, and that's J.J. Dillon. So on this one, again, we got this mahogany body with the maple neck, and I don't like how it stands out like that. You know, so a light back, it's still going to be dark compared to the rest of it. So probably won't do that on this, but on the other one, he might have even been suggestion on that because I had them both out at the same time. And I'm having them help me, you know, decide what to do on it, even though it's going to stay gold.
It's going to be a complete gold, or it's going to be just a...
Yeah, that's the part that, you know, I'm still on the fence about because I like the light backs, you know, with like a black stinger on it, but you don't see too many all gold ones. And that was the other thing. Let's go back up to the one with the gold. Where is it? With the gold hard.
Number 6.
Number 6. Yeah. So the Age Pale and Blue with gold hardware. In my last video, I was like, I don't think I've ever had a Les Paul with gold hardware. And I was trying to think. I've had other guitars with gold hardware. And then after I ended the video, I'm like, oh, you dumbass. I had the 50th anniversary custom shop. All gold. Had the gold headstock, gold hardware, gold pick guard. I mean, it was all gold. Yeah, that's not a Les Paul.
I know, it's still cool.
Yeah, as I said, I've had other guitars with gold hardware, but I didn't think I had a Les Paul with gold hardware.
Yeah,
Then when I ended the video, I'm like, yeah, I had the 50th anniversary. That was over the top gold. Yeah, I wanted to just kind of go back and say, yeah, I did have a Les Paul with gold hardware. So, let's see. Number 15, Like the Badass Boat. Tom's boat. That's crazy. It's got shit going everywhere, all different directions. So since that last video, here is the new suggestions from this video. So number 16, we got Sonic Red from Joseph Peterson.
Hold on a second. Number 15, your badass boat.
Right.
We never thought about maybe getting one wrapped.
Yeah, but I don't want to put a wrap on them.
Why?
And you don't need to wrap. You just have to tape it off in different directions. And
No, I'm just saying don't get a wrap with maybe some kind of graphics.
I did see they do sell wraps for guitars where it makes it look like it's got a flame top on it or whatever, or different colors and stuff. But I just
You can also glue material on there.
yeah.
And you can glue.
But we're getting away from the traditional.
Well, I'm just saying,
Gibson.
it's a suggestion.
Yeah.
Like you can also go with like Gretsch did with the drum material on their jet guitar.
Yeah.
Sparkle or whatever.
And I've looked at a lot of Lay's guitars that they covered with the cloth, and
They're gorgeous.
I like them. They are. They're really pretty. But I don't see them selling.
True. Yeah.
I mean, people, you can take pictures of them, and you can take short videos of them, and people will like the shit out of it, and you'll get a million likes on Instagram for the picture of it, but
your Gibson guitars is like they go after Bic lighters, or they got the cars and the racing ones and stuff like that. It's just a collector guitar.
Well, just like that PRS that they got down there, that blue one, it's covered in a blue paisley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That one's beautiful.
It is gorgeous. Yeah.
It's been down there for like 3 years. So I don't know about covering a guitar with cloth.
Lay's pretty much got that covered.
Yeah.
Let them keep it.
Right. So so 16 we got Sonic Red. So that's another red. That was from Joseph Peterson. Number 17, Any Suggestion But Pink, and that's from Nicholas Marino. And so I think Nicholas Marino up here said the red or the reverse silver burst. So he's liking everything so far except for the pink. Now I don't know if he's talking about this light pink or this hot pink with green.
Hot pink is definitely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty loud.
I'd get disturbed and I'd be going through twitching just looking at it.
Right?
Yeah.
So So Nicholas Marino, he suggested any of the colors sound good so far. Now number 18, we got another red, Fiesta Red, Sonic Red, or Candy Apple Red. And he's just got a big long username here. I'm not even sure how you would try to pronounce that. ELJEFEGUAPOBARBON. So he suggested 3 different reds. So Fiesta, Sonic, or Candy Apple Red. Number 19, I forgot about this guy. I was looking through the suggestions on the last video I did, and I missed him, and he's the one that wanted the Filtertron pickups, and that's from Johnny Rocker. He said put the Filtertrons in it, and we know what those look like. They got like the H pattern in it in the pickup cover. Yeah. Those are pretty cool looking. Mm-hmm. But we're going to go over pickups and all that when we get the guitars back. And they're already painted and hardware, all that kind of stuff. So
I like foil backs.
Yeah, and I was looking at those, and most all the foil backs that I've seen were P90 or mini humbucker. They had a couple of them that were the full humbucker size, but they looked funky because they were so big. But the other ones, they look cool because they're smaller, like the P90 and the mini humbuckers.
And you got a humbucker cut out right here, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like those foil backs too. They look good, especially on the Duesenbergs. They have the little oval shaped ones. Those are really slick looking. Number 20, Nebula or Color Shift Sparkle, and that's from Paul Graciana, or how do you say his last name?
Graduana?
We're both screwing it.
Grachuan? Yeah.
Grahana. I don't know how to say your last name. I'm
Grachan.
really sorry, but
Grachuan, looks like.
yeah. So he says Nebula. So Nebula is like a picture of a constellation, or
Constellation.
Yeah, constellation, or. And then the color shift. I was looking at those powders on eBay and stuff. I can't remember the brand name I was looking at, but I was watching YouTube videos too. You put that powder in the clear coat, and you go over a base. Depending on what color you're doing, you got to have a certain base, whether if it's white or black or whatever. But those are really cool. The only problem I see with that is you got to do a poly finish.
Poly,
yeah. But that does look really cool. It would look good hanging next to your Corvette orange one.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's
copper.
You almost got me saying orange now too.
Yeah.
I
So,
call it my copper caddy.
but that would look good. That color shift is really awesome.
Yeah.
I watched them paint a Mitsubishi something or other. I can't remember what car it was. Wasn't paying attention now. I was more watching, and it would change from like green to pink and purple and blue, and it was really slick looking. I liked that.
They can put all kinds of different pigments in there, get whatever colors you want for
Yeah.
changing and flipping.
Yeah, but yeah, that looked really cool. So I thought, yeah, if I did a poly finish, that would look really good next to that copper one there. So that was from Paul, and we can't pronounce your last name. Sorry. Number 21. He put olive drab, and that's from Tonsky. So I think he likes olive drab.
What's wrong with olive drab?
No, that Chris Cornell one, that olive drab 335, or was it a 345? I can't remember.
You seen any Les Pauls in olive drab yet? I've seen
Yeah, they just, Gibson did a whole line of, they did the junior, the special, the
Vs.
standard, the Vs. Matter of fact, Lay's, Steve's got quite a few of the green ones, and he took them all apart, and then he high gloss cleared them because they come in that satin finish.
Yeah.
And they look really good,
Doesn't it an Explorer that color too?
Yeah, they did a whole series. So Gibson did a whole series, I think last year, or the year before, in the olive drab. So just a quick rounding up here. This don't count the variations of colors, but we've got 6 votes for red, 6 votes for blue, 2 for pink because you got the hot pink and the light pink, and we got 2 votes for green. I threw in the pink with the green burst as one of them, and then the olive drab. So you got 2 for green, 1 sparkle. I put that in there because of the color shift, and then the other is 2. I can't remember why I decided to put other in there. Maybe it was because of the blue-gray fade, and I can't remember. I just wrote it down about an hour ago, and I've already forgot. But so that's kind of the tally.
So pretty much red and blue's the favorite.
Yeah. So I mean, red and blue got the most votes. So I guess we just got to decide
Unsurprising.
what to pick out of. Yeah, I think we won't tell them what color we're going to go with.
But yeah.
There's like 3 of them on here that I'm thinking about. What about you?
There's a couple. There's a few. Yeah, there's a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ideas on there. It really is.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and give a quick mention on the other one that we're doing. So the other one is this is my 4th 2017 Gibson Les Paul Tribute Gold Top. We got to get these out of here today too.
Yeah.
So this is the first one I've had that wasn't in just pristine mint condition. It's been played and used, and it has a little chip on there from the screw on the pick guard, and it's got a few little scratches and stuff on it, some buckle rash. It's not bad though. I mean, you could really polish this guitar up and use it as is, but right here on the edge you got some scratches and stuff. But this is the one that I'm on the fence on. Not on color, because it's a gold top. definitely want to keep it gold. What I'm on the fence about is, do I just paint the top gold again
And clear.
and do a nice light black, light back and the black stinger,
Yeah.
you know?
Black stinger look cool on there with a light.
Right. Or paint everything gold with the cap showing and then the black stinger.
I'd do the gold front and then the black stinger.
Yeah. Just keep a traditional light back.
Yeah. That way, someone doesn't know that you're trying to hide something. You know, say, "Oh, he's trying to hide something because you went all gold." You
Right.
know, a broken neck. Oh.
And they did make a few Gibsons that were all gold, like my 1957, the 50th anniversary custom that was all gold. And you know, the neck, everything was gold on it. They made a few other.
Now, if you go light, and if you plug these holes, is that going to show up a little round pluggy?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But that was the other thing. I'm definitely on this one. I'm gonna have them fill the holes for the pick guard. I hate pick guards. I think they just take away from the look of the guitar.
Especially if you got a burst or something like that.
Yeah, I think it
Wood grains.
ruins them.
Yeah,
it
you
really
can't see
does.
it.
And then if you take it off, you got those ugly screw holes. So on this one, this hole would definitely cover because it's going to get painted over.
Yeah.
But here, yeah, I don't know. But it is on the bottom.
So maybe just keep this one with pick guard, and then the other one
Yeah, maybe.
keep it more traditional.
And then most of these also come with all the cream plastics and stuff on it. So I don't know whether if I'm going to do cream or black on this. Obviously, these are aftermarket pickup rings.
Did this come with a black pick guard?
No, the other three came with the cream pick guard and cream rings and stuff. And
Did this one come with a black or cream?
that's what it just said.
Oh, okay.
They
You
come
said-
with the cream.
Okay. So
This is my fourth one. The other three had the cream pickup rings, pick guard, and it also had the reflector knobs with no thumb bleeders, and it had the cream
yeah.
poker chip on it. And it does look good, the black accents, but I don't like these aftermarket pickup rings. They're like that tall. You see that?
Yeah, I can see
That's horrible looking. So those stay with these pickups because that was the other thing I was disappointed on. This was supposed to come with a PCB board, and I was okay with seeing that was gone already because those are hard to get rid of. Usually people take them out and throw them in the trash, or they try to sell them to some other dummy. But once I pulled the pickups out, I was actually really disappointed in this purchase because that's a good chunk of the money is the pickups, and they weren't Gibson. But one of the subscribers said that these are, I can't pronounce it, Takaki or Toki or I don't, you know what I'm talking about, the Love Rock. They don't say what are on there.
Oh.
That's the subscriber told me what they were.
Takanami or something like that.
Yeah.
Takami.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Like I said before, I know what they are. They're the Love Rock Les Pauls that are made in Japan, but I've never gave them a second look, let alone try to figure out how to pronounce it. You know what I mean? So,
Takanami,
yeah. But he said that these are actually really good pickups. Being made in Japan, you know, I don't doubt that. They make good stuff over there. And they do have a really nice age look to them already. But he said that these are actually really good PAF style humbuckers that are made in Japan for those Love Rock Les Pauls. So I'll use those in something else. Probably not a Gibson, but maybe an Epiphone or something like that, because they are a high-end Japanese pickup. It's not like you're buying a cheap Chinese pickup, you know, aftermarket one. So I'll definitely hang on to those for something. But yeah, so I'm just kind of on the fence about what to do with this, but it's definitely, neither one of these are going to be satin. I like the high gloss.
Yeah, I'm a high glosser too.
Yeah.
Maybe satin on the neck only for where your hand goes.
Right. Yeah, because that is nice and fast. Where
Yeah.
there's a high gloss one, it's sticky.
Yeah. It's like my PRS with a satin neck. It's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, see, these are both tributes, and look, this one's got the dot inlays, and this one has the trapezoid. And I did notice too, just about every tribute that has the maple neck has those dot inlays on it too. That was something else I noticed when I was looking
the
at
maple
them.
necks, huh?
Yeah. And I love the maple necks. I just don't like the color, how it stands out like that, you know, like two different shades.
I'm on the fence on maple necks because mahogany's a lot harder.
Is
You
it?
get a maple neck and you get different, you know, temperature things, especially up here in the north with
Yeah.
the four seasons. And you get like a dog's tongue just
Right.
going.
Yeah.
You know what season it is by how high your strings are.
Right. Well, like on the Zach Wild one, they had a 3-piece, so that's probably a lot more stable.
Yeah.
This don't have a 3-piece. Well, if you count the ears, I guess you could say it's a 3-piece because they put the ears on it.
Yeah.
I really like the 5-piece necks where it's maple, walnut, you know what I mean? Across. Those look really good.
That was back in the 70s and 80s, and we were trying to use up all the spare wood, and they got taken over.
Yeah, well,
Let's use up every scrap we got.
they look really good, though.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah.
They're actually stronger, too.
Did your 25-50 anniversary?
Yeah, 5-piece.
It had a 5-piece on it. Yeah, that looked good. So, but the other thing I am going to do too is on these tuners, they had the Clusons on both of them. So I'm going to have them fill in the top screw holes. That way, when I get them back, I can put Grovers on there and just use the bottom screw hole, and you won't see this screw hole. And since both of them are going to have stingers on the back to be painted over, you'll never know that those screw holes were there. So we will be upgrading from the Cluson style tuner to a Grover on them. So other than that, I guess we just have to decide whether if it's going to be aged or not, and what colors.
Could put it in a hat.
Yeah. Maybe we decide what color, and then we figure out whether if we're going to age it or not.
Yeah.
The other thing that's going to be the determining factor is we took the Silverburst down for aging.
that's what's going through my head right
Right.
now. A year and a half later, 2 years going through.
Right, and I'm like, I don't know, that one hasn't
It's getting aged by itself, sitting there.
Right, yeah.
He's aging it. You paid for it.
Yeah, it's just got to hang on the rack for 6 more years.
Isn't it? It's getting aged.
But and then, in all fairness, too, that one was a full relic. We're talking, buckle rash, chips, dings.
Well, we don't know how many things got bumped into us since
Yeah.
it's been hanging there. So.
Right.
Oh, shut up.
Right.
Be nice. No.
Yeah, be nice. Yeah. So, we're just gonna have to pick from your guys' list here. Definitely have a lot of suggestions, a lot of great suggestions. I appreciate every one of them, and I think every one of them are great, but we only have one guitar to paint here. Well, we got 2, but this one's staying gold. And nobody ever really said to go all gold or just the gold top, unless that one where it said the light back and sides.
Yeah, might have been that.
Because I was talking about both of them in that video that I'm talking about, so they could have been talking about this one. But I didn't have any suggestions whatsoever on the gold one. They were probably like, piss on that one. I want to suggest on the one I'm building.
Because they already know this is going to be gold.
Yeah, it's gold. Gold is gold. But yeah, even if it does stay exactly the way it is, and it's just refinished and done in a high gloss with that stinger on the back, I think that'll look really good.
And Grovers instead of the Clusons. And
Yeah.
the creams.
So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and decide right now. We both agree this should stay a light back, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so it's going to stay a light back. We'll see the maple cap, light back, light neck, gold top, black stinger.
Yep.
And then high gloss everything.
Yep.
So, all right, that's
cream
decided.
rings. Cream rings.
Yeah.
Cream guard.
Well, wonder if we can hide that enough.
I don't think we will. I think you're going to see a little toothpick hole or something.
Yeah, like
there.
a piece of dowel rod or whatever there.
It'll never match. Yeah. So you're going to have to put the pick guard back if you go with the light back like it is. If
Yeah.
you're painting it, it wouldn't make a difference. But
And once they're refinished, I'm not gonna. I hate poker chips.
so don't
I
put
think
it on.
it takes away from it. The reason that I leave them on there is because they usually leave a ring on them. Now I did put the poker chip on this one here, and that was because I bought this from Stratosphere as a brand new one, and it had a mark on it because they disassemble these. Yeah, so there it is.
With or without.
With and without the poker chip, and I think it looks a lot cleaner without it, in my opinion. And like I said, the only reason I put the poker chip on this one for the Stratosphere build is because these are brand new guitars. They disassemble and then they sell the husk, and it had a mark on it from the chip. So
indentation.
yeah, so I put it back on there. It was against what I wanted to do with it, but I don't like seeing marks and stuff on it, and I don't like seeing the holes where the pick guard was when they take the pick guard off. I really think Gibson should send the pick guard and bracket in the case. And then if you really want it installed and you're not confident installing it, have the dealer install it before you go home with it.
You know the two TV Silvers I got, the Epiphones? Those, yeah. Well, one didn't have a pick guard in it. It was in the case.
Right.
If you notice, there was no holster there. It was optional for the owner.
Yeah.
Or about it.
I didn't notice that, no. Yeah, but that's what they should do, because once it's on there, it's a done deal. There's no turning back. So I think people should have that option, whether if they want the pick guard on there or not. Because I think it takes away from the guitar. But so that's it, guys. Dad and I will decide on which color to paint your guys' build. We will definitely be using one of your suggestions. We won't go rogue and change it. And then we'll decide whether if it's going to get aged or not, because we had some suggestions for aging. So that'll be your guys' build. And let you pick out the pickups and everything when we come back. I do like that Filtertron suggestion, but we'll see what else people come up with. This one here, I think I'm gonna, since it don't have the Gibson pickups in it, and I do actually have the pickups from the 1960, and I got the pots and all the hardware and everything. And this is the one where it has the covered neck and the open bridge. I don't know what that would look like in there. And then the other,
cool. Yeah.
The other thing I could do too is I have that aged antiquity bridge or neck. I could find another bridge, but at that point, I have to make everything aged.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, if you use that black open one, then you'd have to have your black rings and black pickup guard, pick guard.
Yeah, that's true too. So there's we get them back. When we get him back from paint, we'll sit down and discuss that. But yeah, the other thing too is he had that. The other owner had this 5-ply on here, and I didn't like that at all. And I don't think that's a Gibson pick guard at all. This one came off of the Silverburst, and I have this left over because we had that third pickup routed in it. So that's what it would look like. Yeah, you can tell those are not factory pickup rings, but that's what it would look like with black on it. And I just think it takes from it.
I don't know. When I do my build on my P90, when it's going to be all black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gold top P90.
No. I'm going to get an ebony one.
Okay.
Because I want a router for a staple.
Right. Yeah, have the neck one routed deeper and get a real staple.
Yeah, that's going to be all black.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see when we get it back. We'll decide. But I'm thinking it's going to have to be cream. It don't have to be. Once we get it back, we might decide the black looks good on it because it's going to have a high gloss black headstock.
And black stinger.
Black stinger on it.
Black reflector knobs, maybe?
Yeah, black reflector knobs. Black pickup rings. No poker chip, though. You're going to refinish it. It won't have that mark there. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but definitely time is over now for the color picks. So we're going to pick what you guys have here. These are going down Monday. What's today? Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so day after tomorrow. These are going down for refinish. We're going to take these cabinets down. My pastor from church, he wants a new acoustic guitar, and he doesn't want to go do all the stops like we do. So I'm just going to run him down there, drop this stuff off, come back with the Silverburst. I'm going to set up a time with Steve to go down there, you and I, check out the factory. We'll go to the Loft again, do some more videos at the factory, at the Loft.
Do a video of the factory and all that.
Right,
yeah.
and then maybe that day we can venture out a little further. We usually stop at Guitar Center in Sam Ash. Maybe this time we go to Guitar Riot and Timeless, because we've been talking about that now for a while.
Guitar Riot was awesome.
Yeah, Guitar Riot is really cool.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's in Cleveland, Ohio. So if you guys are still watching this video and you haven't dipped out yet, just search online and look for Guitar Riot in Cleveland, Ohio, and Timeless Guitars in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, Timeless is a real small 1950s building that's 2 stories. They got the basement full of acoustics, their repair room, and then upstairs they have all their electrics and stuff. But their website isn't the greatest. So if you really want to be wowed, you got to kind of walk in there, you know. But Guitar Riot, they usually have pretty good pictures of the stuff. The one thing that I don't like about Guitar Riot is when you walk in there, they do have a lot on the wall, but I would say a good 50 to 60% of their stock are in cases lined up, and you got to read the tag. And
but if you read the tags, it's like, oh my God.
Right, yeah.
It's never, oh my God moment.
And they got just tons of custom shop stuff. I mean, it's not like you're just Gibson USA or Fender
New releases.
Everything is like top notch there. So check out the Guitar Riot. That's a really cool place. So yeah, one last look here. I'll let you guys do a little swoopy here and look at the guitar builds while we're at 50 minutes. I wonder how many people actually watch this. You know, I mean, we're pretty long-winded. This is probably the longest video I've ever done, but yeah, there's the 2 amplifier cabinets, and like I said, those would be completely hand-wired, point-to-point wiring, and they're going to be tube amps, custom made down at Delay's Loft. So if you guys are interested in these, none of the hardware is on them yet, obviously, handles and corners and feet and, you know, the chassis and speakers, so they're far from done.
They're all going to be hand-built too, though.
Yeah, all hand-built, all point-to-point wiring, no PCB boards. So I'm anxious to see how those turn out. So, well,
just before you quit, though, they do got a couple of them down there that they got covered in tweed that they've built.
yeah,
And they're awesome amps. They're really good amps.
like the Blues DeVille that I got over here. So they do have, if you guys are interested in buying a vintage style amplifier, Lay's Loft builds those same ones I just showed you in a 10 and a 12, a single 10 and a single 12, and they use this vintage tweed and a high gloss lacquer them, and they look really good. They're actually a very nice guitar. So guitar amp. So anyhow, 52 minutes into it. I don't know how many people are actually going to watch this whole thing, but hey, it is what it is. It's our time. We're just recording it, right?
Having fun with it.
Yeah. Okay. You guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.